Jay-Z first made his name in the rap game in 1989 by appearing on the show Yo MTV Raps, and by the late 90s, he was already a legend. He'd already cemented his name in the rap game with his debut album, Reasonable Doubt. This album now is considered one of the best rap albums of all time. In the first week, it sold 43,000 copies, which is a lot for the time, and it went gold within 3 months, while selling more than 1 million albums in the United States. Jay definitely seemed to be ahead of his time, starting his own record label in 1994. This would go on to probably be the best choice of his career because he would end up signing artists like Kanye West. Yes, in the 90s, it just seemed like Jay-Z couldn't do any wrong. The only problem was, he was harboring a dark secret.
Some of these rumors been around about people for a long time. Have I heard little shit about Jay-Z? Yup.
Rap story, but as far as relationships, I've been used. You know what I mean? I've been in violent relationships. I'm young. I've been 14 messing with guys 30 years old.
Foxy Brown was a very talented musician. By the age of 14, she had gotten herself into the music game. She was featured on a couple of big tracks like LL Cool J's I Shot You remix, but everything changed for her when she met Jay-Z in 1994. That year, Jay-Z and Foxy would go on to make their first major duet titled Ain't No N***, which was featured on the soundtrack for the Eddie Murphy movie The Nutty Professor 2 years later. Now this song would go down as pretty controversial due to the sexual nature of the lyrics. Lyrics such as, ain't no n*** like the one I got, sleeps around but he gives me a lot. Okay, and I know what you're saying. She's saying these lyrics, what does that have to do with Jay-Z? Well, actually, Jay-Z was the one who wrote these lyrics and actually went on to say this in the song. You got your own 96 something to ride and keep your ass tied up in Versace, that's why. And hey, these are seemingly harmless lyrics. You know, we hear a lot of stuff even worse in rap. And despite of that, Jay-Z will go on to write another song while Foxy Brown was around the age of 16 at the time. This time, it will be performed by Method Man and Foxy Brown. The lyrics were even more explicit this time around, with Jay-Z going on to write, who got the illest pussy on the planet? Sugar walls coming down, can't stand it. The L nah true absolute vodka. And it's important to note that Method Man did not write any of these lyrics, and it was just Jay-Z who wrote these lyrics and he was performing them. W Method Man. And I know some people might just be thinking, these are just lyrics, man. This is not nothing, any proof or anything. Yeah. In the early to mid 90s, rumors would circulate that Jay-Z actually slept with Foxy Brown, taking her virginity while she was underage. Several celebrities that have been close to Jay-Z have even confirmed that this sick act took place, with the most notable being Nas on his infamous diss track to Jay-Z named Ether. Nas went on to say, in a pine box with 9 shots for my Glock fellas, Foxy got you hot cause you kept your face in her put. What you think, you getting girls now cause of your looks? While this doesn't confirm that Jay-Z slept with Foxy Brown while she was actually underage, Wendy Williams of all people actually went on to confirm just that. Wendy Williams would go on to say, I remember, right, when Foxy and Jay-Z had all beat. Jay-Z was standing in the corner, wringing his hands, talking about, okay, what do I do next? This was allegedly a romantical thing. It's alright, I'll say alleged. You know, she hit it before Beyonce, allegedly. One of Jay-Z's former artists would seemingly confirm the underage relationship while on an interview with Nick Cannon. Asked about this situation, Jay-Z's former artist Dame Dash said, I wasn't paying attention to Foxy Brown. I didn't sign Foxy Brown. It sounds like you have a question for Jay. Ask him. Keep asking me questions y'all want to ask him because he ain't there. But the most damaging piece of evidence perhaps is Foxy Brown seemingly confirming this herself in her song Let 'Em Know. Foxy Brown went on to say this in the 2010 track. They said I with Nas and now they say it's AZ. But on the low, the real was Jay-Z. And yes, Foxy Brown did say that in her song. She would go on to deny the allegations of sleeping with Jay-Z while she was underage, almost 20 years later. In an interview with TMZ, Foxy stated, the atrociousness of the story sickened me to my stomach. Any and everyone involved will be contacted by my attorney. And I don't know about you, but to me, it seems like this was written by a lawyer, or maybe even Jay-Z's lawyer or his team himself. This statement even got people speculating that Jay-Z might have paid off Foxy Brown to cover up any wrongdoing he might have done. One fan going on to say, Jay-Z has smart people around him. His lawyers probably drawed up a non-disclosure agreement years ago, gave Foxy a few million so she could never speak publicly about this ever again. You see, she never speak about this topic anymore. Which is true. I'm looking around and I can't see Foxy addressing the lyrics that she said where she said she fucked Jay-Z. So that's kind of weird to me. It's important to note that most likely nothing will come from this because Foxy Brown has repeatedly denied any involvement with Jay-Z while she was underage.
This is a game we in. We in a hustle. We in a grind. Everybody ain't 50 Cent. Everybody ain't Puff. Everybody ain't Jay-Z. You gotta stick with it.
In the years 1997 to 1999, Jay-Z would go on to find a friend in rapper P. Diddy, who was also a label owner just like Jay-Z. In 1999, both were involved in legal cases where they both avoided prison sentences. This made their relationship go way stronger. Throughout the 2000s, their relationship would get a little weird and border on the homosexual side.
Put your Rockefeller show conceited. Put your Rockefeller.
And he didn't seem to be ashamed by it. Neither did Jay-Z. They did it right there on stage for everyone to see. So Jay-Z and Diddy definitely had a weird relationship. For now, it was without any allegations because at this time, Jay-Z seemed to be more of a menace than Diddy and was doing okay stacking up allegations all by himself.
Hope got a young girl. Hope got a young girl. Still not quite 21.
In 1997, Jay-Z would be in a picture with Beyonce at only the age of 16 years old. And yes, even if she is 16, there's nothing wrong with this, right? It's just a picture, right? None of this seemed out of the ordinary until 11 years later when Jay-Z would actually get married to Beyonce. And this sparked the question, when did they actually start dating? This is where the story starts getting weird because everywhere you look up, they'll tell you that Beyonce first met Jay-Z in 2000. But that's obviously untrue because you can see the picture from 1997 when she was 16. Which raises the question, why would Beyonce lie about when she met Jay-Z? The only logical reason I could think of is that Jay-Z was grooming her since she was 16. And Beyonce is now trying to cover for the image of her now husband. If this is true, then this would be the second time that Jay-Z had groomed somebody that was underage. And that leads into my next topic.
Welcome to the best of both worlds.
By 2002, Jay-Z had met R. Kelly, and they'd announced that they'd have a joint project coming soon. Their album received negative reception, but this didn't end their friendship. They announced that they were going on tour together, but it all came to a halt when R. Kelly was arrested for child pornography. Jay-Z viewed this whole situation as a quote-unquote missed opportunity. So when R. Kelly's career seemed to be re-emerging in 2003, Jay-Z took the chance to try again and make another collab album and have more shows. Though Kelly's career seemed to be re-emerging, the damage had already been done. In 1994, R. Kelly had bribed Illinois officials to let him marry a 15-year-old Aaliyah. Now, when Aaliyah's partner at the time, Dame Dash, heard about this, it's safe to say he wasn't happy. He had this to say about Jay-Z collabing with R. Kelly on an album at the time. I just couldn't believe he did a project with R. Kelly knowing that he'd my girl. He also went on to say, just don't put my name on that. I don't want no money from that. If it is, put it to Aaliyah Foundation. Now, R. Kelly and Jay-Z would end their relationship a few years later, but that's not where all the weirdness ends. Now, Rihanna was 16 when Jay-Z self-reportedly locked her into an office until 3 a.m. because she wouldn't sign a contract with him. Now, eventually she would go on to sign the contract, but this is just definitely weird. I can't even put this into my own words. Just listen to what Jay-Z says.
The diva Rihanna. She's from Barbados?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's Bayesian.
Okay, she's Bayesian. How did you come in contact with her? I mean, did you fly over there?
No, Jay Brown had actually bought me the song. She has a song right now that's I wouldn't say massive because of rules when I first heard the song. And then, you know, he kept going, Jay Brown, he kept being persistent. I was like, you know what, bring her by. And when she walked into our office, I was like, you know, she just had, it was just something about her. It was just, she had this, you know, it was just something about her. And then she performed the song, and I was like, okay, okay. Then, you know, we sat down and we talked, and they were talking about how she would stay in the studio and try to get the verse over, and then come back the next day. I was like, oh, work ethic, everything is there. So we signed it that night. We didn't let her leave the office.
Really?
The 3 in the morning was when that contract got signed. So from the meeting around 3, 4 in the afternoon, we signed it by 3 in the morning.
Wow.
That day I was at
Rihanna self-reportedly says that she was shaking nervous by the incident.
Or met him? I was so nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment
While other people and maybe even Rihanna herself might see this story as funny or silly, I just don't. I don't think this is appropriate to lock somebody in there. And the fact that he locked her in there for hours kind of makes it seem like she didn't want to sign to him and he just pressured her into it for hours by locking her into a room. And now we're at the point where we can talk about the new allegations that just surfaced in the last couple of days. This is where Jay-Z's friendship with Diddy comes back to bite him all of these years later.
Breaking news just happening tonight that involves both Jay-Z and Diddy. Now, this is an amended complaint accusing Jay-Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 along with Sean Diddy Combs.
Now, it's important to note that this story is just from the accuser, and Jay-Z has gone on to refute everything in here with a statement right here. The accuser's name is not even listed in this lawsuit, so let's let the justice system do its part, and I don't really want to speak on this too much, but what do you guys think? Do you think Jay-Z is innocent or guilty? Leave a comment, man.